it. Are we live? Are we live? Let's see if we're live. OMG. Oh, there. Okay. All right. Yes. Welcome to our Yasin. Welcome to our 7 viewers for today's podcast for where we're gonna talk about arts and PWDs. But before all that, hello, welcome to the relaunch of the Allied Arts podcast, where we share how to make the world come alive with art. I don't have sound effects, so I'm just gonna clap. Yay. Anyway, so I've been trying to. Hi Gia. Hi Gia. Thanks so much for tuning in. Yeah. Okay. So for this podcast, I actually launched this last year, but because of COVID, I kind of had to stop. But this year I said, you know what? I think there's no better time to relaunch this than now because it's a brand new year, even if it doesn't feel like it. It is a brand new year. And yeah, I guess there's just so much that I've been able to witness in terms of this arts, how the arts have been able to help different industries, how people actually help the arts as well. Like, it's so amazing. So, moving forward, we're going to be talking to so many different people in the arts and just other worlds, other industries. Yeah. But for this first episode of the year, we are kicking it off with a very special guest, one of my closest friends. She is an amazing dancer and she is also a speech therapist. I'll leave it to her to share the rest of her story, but without further ado, we have Miss Bagbag Ocampo! Yes! Oh my goodness gracious, there we are. We are like live
Hello,
now.
what's up, what's up?
Oh my gosh, so how are you?
Yo, Asha, are you there?
Yes, oh no. Is this, yeah, you're back.
There we go. I was testing
Alright.
you.
Okay. Whew! I'm so excited. I'm so excited for our chica.
Me too. Yay. Yes, chika lang to, chika lang to.
Yeah.
Hi guys, thank you for joining our chika tonight.
Okay. Yeah, so before we go into talking about arts and PWDs, can you share a bit about yourself, your work, and your art?
Oh, wow. All right. So I am Mikaela Ocampo. Wow, and I am known as Teacher Micah to my students. So that's both in for speech therapy and my kids with in autism movement therapy. So yes, I'm Teacher Micah. Teacher Micah sa umaga, bagbag sa gabi. Wow!
The duality.
Joke lang. But yeah, so yeah, I'm Teacher Micah. I'm a speech therapist. I've been working as a speech therapist for 4 years already. Um, and I also dance when I have the time. Wow. But yeah, yeah, that, ano pa ba? That's me.
That's me.
Yeah, and like other things on the side, especially now during the pandemic. But yeah, in a nutshell, I guess, for tonight's context, that's me.
Right, right. So how did you start dancing and how did you start with the field of speech therapy? Sige, let's start with dancing first.
Oh, okay. So actually, for with dance, I think my earliest memory was ballet. I did ballet when I was, I think, for 2 years lang yun, I think I was mga 5 or 6 years old. And then it stopped because my mom said, "Oh, you have to focus on your studies. You're in grade school now." Wow, Asian mom.
Right, right.
So I stopped dancing, and then I got back to it again in college na with in dialogue with you. Hey, shout out in dialogue. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from there, I continued na until so yeah. It's in dialogue for college, and then after graduating, I auditioned and danced with Red PH for some time. I think around a year. So that's a contemporary group. And then by mga 2018, I started training with the project na also naman.
Nice, nice. Okay, how about your how about your speech therapy? How did you like end up in speech therapy?
Okay, so for speech therapy naman, I honestly didn't know what I wanted to do in my life. All I knew was it had to be something health science related. So both of my parents are doctors, and so originally the plan was to go to med school, and then speech therapy was suggested by my dad. So parang um, it's a hit in the States, the new course, ganyan. And then it could be a good pre-med. It could also be a good standalone course or profession na. So that's how I got into it. And then I was really thinking, I was just following. Like I didn't know what I was getting myself into. So that's how it
Okay.
started. And then I just grew to love it na rin also when I was in it.
Nice. Actually, yun. Since you mentioned it, now we met in Diog. Actually, yeah. For
Yeah.
context, for those watching, we actually met in 2013. Wow, our origin story.
2019 talaga?
Yeah, that was when I was first year. Wow,
Wow.
7 years
Oh my
ago.
gosh.
Yeah, so
Ang
we met in
maganda.
Dialog. I was first year, tas yun, I was a trainee in Dialog. Tas yun, for me naman, I was taking behavioral sciences, and then you were taking, yeah, speech pathology, both in UP Manila. So I guess that's like where we found a common ground, arts and
Hey.
health, right?
Yeah,
Yun.
yeah.
But so parang ever since college, did you know that you wanted to like merge the two fields, or parang not really? How did you get there to that point?
Thank you for that wonderful question.
You're welcome.
Really see myself doing any of what I'm doing now. Um, like, to be completely honest, I thought I would continue with med school and then
Mm-hmm.
stop dancing. Like, I thought dance was just a phase for me then. So, but I guess you can just, um, paano ba? Oh, okay. There's this story I remember. When I was in fourth year. It was my internship year. I was
Ooh.
in PGH,
Okay.
and then nag-intern ka rin doon, di ba? Nagsabay ata
Yeah.
tayo.
Yeah.
Ay, I mean, like, yeah, for some time. So, my clinical supervisor then, si Ma'am M. Shout out, Ma'am M! Thank you so much. And she was my supervisor in PGH sa Department
Okay.
of Rehab. Sa rehab.
Yeah.
And then, she knew that I was dancing. Siguro kasi lagi akong late kasi may training, ganyan, or like puyat. Lol, that student life. So she knew that I was dancing, and then she sent me a video. Pero pagka-graduate na yun, she sent me a video of autism movement therapy. She said, "Oh, hey, maybe you could do this." And then that's what um, like got my attention. I wasn't really thinking of it, like I wasn't planning on merging my profession and
Mm-mm.
dance then. But when I saw that, I was like, oh wow, like this seems really cool. Um, Kaso kasi it was in the States, and then like fresh grad,
Right.
no
Right.
budget, yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Teleport. Who can we? Okay. Okay.
yeah. But then, so that was the start, and then I
Mm-mm.
didn't really um, enroll yet, but I guess it planted a seed in me already. So I became more conscious now and more intentional with my advocacy. So I was trying to push some art exhibits um, on my own. With I think it's called the Passion Fest with BGC. May ganun dun eh.
Okay. Okay.
So trinay ko di ba parang may time na may mga booth, may mga performances, di
Mm-mm.
ba? Sa BGC. So, si ate mo girl, pa-Vivo, o parang, hey, the PWDs can do this, di ba? Kasi parang,
Right. Right.
napaka-stage mom ko sa mga kids ko eh. Kaya to ng anak ko eh.
Let
So
me
like, I just,
like bring
yeah,
them.
di ba? So I just really wanted a platform, basically, for
Right.
my
Right.
kids to show their talent.
Okay.
But then, hindi siya to fly. And then,
Okay.
when the video that Ma'am M sent me um, showed up again sa memories sa Facebook, tapos medyo may budget na ako, edi medyo malakas na yung loob ko. Parang, oh, I'm a fly to the States.
Nice. Nice.
So yeah, yeah, so I talked to my mom and then she was very supportive naman. And then I enrolled with the level 1 course, which was online pa naman. So like, thank you Lord. At least makakaipon pa ako bago ako lumipad talaga.
Okay,
Yeah, and
okay.
then that's how it started. And then eventually I flew to get certified in the States now also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When was that na nga that you got certified? 20.
2019. Yeah,
Oh,
2019.
okay. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Random, but like for a moment there, I
Uh-huh.
thought 2019 was last year. Oh my god, right? We're in
Diba?
2021. Oh my gosh. Okay.
We need some time to get used to it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. So parang so it wasn't like an active pursuit talaga in the beginning. It's just kind of like, oh, somebody sent you and then so it started as a curiosity that you kind of just followed and followed and followed until like
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh, I think it was a slow unraveling of what what God wanted me to do. So it wasn't like, hindi naman ako parang shocks, like, I will advocate for art, ganyan. So it's really just one step at a time. I think God's really sweet like that also. Parang um as I experience life,
mm,
may mga napaplant pa konti-konti, and then until when I put it all together, oh, it makes sense. So
yeah.
yeah, it wasn't really I guess I can say na mas naging sure na ako na hindi siya yung parang bits and pieces lang when I actually got certified already.
Mm-mm.
So parang vulnerabilize ko na siya eh. Like, I sent it out to the universe that I actually
Right,
really
right.
want to have an art school for children with special needs. And
Let's
then,
go.
let's go! So, yun. And then, since
Okay.
I dance, like, I figure, like, okay, maybe I can start with movement first.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. And then eventually try to collab with other artists also who have the heart for PWDs.
Mm.
So, yeah. But, yeah, hindi ko na masyadong maalala yung timeline of
Oh.
like when I figured that out, but it's around that time that I got
Oh.
certified with it.
Yeah. So was parang prior to that, what was it about arts that made you feel like parang it's not very accessible for PWDs? Na parang yeah, what was the big thing that was stopping like art from becoming accessible for PWDs?
Yeah. So I think, well, this is just what I think, what I see. Um, I think medyo na sensationalize art to just being um, an experience for the more elite people. I think that's
Okay.
a, a general idea. So parang like this is based from the conversations I had with the parents of my kids also, na parang
Mm-mm.
um, they're scared to want their children to pursue art because there's no avenue for them to actually flourish in it, to like grow. Like they can't, like if you think of the art schools here, wala naman masyado who walang masyadong kayang mag-cater sa special needs, di ba?
Mm-mm.
So, um, I think, so yun, parang hindi siya masyadong na like available for them to consume. And I think that idea also na if you say art, oh, I have to create. Di ba parang ganun? If you say that, oh, you're an artist, like you have to create, ganyan.
Mm-mm.
But then, siguro, um, art can be experienced kasi also. Like, hindi naman siya agad-agad na, ay, artist, okay, gagawa ako agad, ganyan. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it starts small din naman eh, di ba?
Yeah.
So, that, like, some people, I'm sure you wanted to dance. You started dancing because you saw someone dance, di
Yeah,
ba?
yeah.
So, you experienced it first before you wanted to do it also. Parang
Right,
ganun.
right.
And I guess for people for PWDs, they just don't see it. Kaya siguro
Yeah.
they just don't really want to do it anymore. Diba? Wala
Yeah.
lang platform for them talaga eh.
Right. I think I kind of wanna like expand a bit more on what you said. Na it's something that can be experienced. Kasi parang lately, yun rin, these past months, because nga lockdown, parang I'm like, Like, for me personally, just with dance, nako-question ko talaga na, oh my gosh, am I still an artist? Because, but even though I'm not able to create and put something out there, na, like, kasi diba usually it's like, oh, just keep creating, then you keep posting, ganun, ganun. Pero there was a lot going on for me personally. So parang I felt like, I didn't want to put things out. But I would still, like, dance, I would still create, but I just don't put it out a lot. Tapos yun, it sort of got me to think of, yun nga, the perspective, the perception, sorry, towards art na you're an artist only if you have something to show for. So parang it's like if you have the result, you have a painting, wow, you're an artist. If you have yun, a dance that you made, you're an artist. But what about for those people who parang just want to go through the process, like, and I think these thoughts have been very influenced actually from my experience working with disabled heart, from what we worked
Hey!
on. Yeah, yeah. So parang when we did a little bit of the expressive arts sessions and things like that, and now since we kind of brought it up, yeah, like maybe since that's also something that you were working on, and also autism movement therapy, baka like can you share a bit more about what that is and how it helps PWDs in terms of making arts accessible?
All right. So, I'm sure that's a really good question. Kaso nag-lag ka on my end, so hindi ko narinig. Can you say it again?
It's okay, it's okay.
Oh,
We
okay.
have to be
Tayo dito.
patient
Okay, go.
with technology. To our viewers also, so far, yeah, before we go into that, I'm just gonna say hi to some of the viewers who commented.
Sino
We've
to?
got Gia Mata. Hi, Gia. And also, hi, go Ata. Go, Asha.
Hey!
Go, Ata Baggy.
Uy, si
Hey,
Kobe!
hi.
Andito pa ba si Kobe? Hi, Cobes! Hello! Hello,
What's
hello!
that? I don't see a comment. I'm just
Uy,
looking at
hindi
the comments.
siya
But,
nag-comment, but it says he's watching with you.
oh, cool
But
beans.
he
Hello.
probably left na already.
Okay.
But hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Adels. Hi,
Oh
buddy.
my
Happy
gosh.
birthday, Moira!
Oh my gosh, happy birthday, Moira! Wow.
Bella is also watching. Hi, Bella,
Hi,
Bella.
Bella. Yeah, let's say hi to our friends. Because, because, yeah, I think it's also very nice that, just thinking about it now, it's very nice that we're so surrounded by people who are, artists, and also people who care about PWDs, because, because, I think because of the environment ng UP Manila, and also just work and just life, we are connecting with people who are into supporting the PWD community. So yeah, I guess that's something na kaya actually, yeah, I haven't made my like cheesy 2020 message pa for you, but I'm so grateful that we did Disabled Heart last year. Oh my gosh. Wait, hold on. You're lagging on my end. Let me see. Let me see.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Your audio's there, but the video's
I'm
lagging.
back.
Let me see. Okay, there. You're back now.
There, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay.
To our
Hindi
viewers.
kinaya yung sinsinas siguro nag-lag.
Okay. I'm so sorry. But yeah, like
Uh,
super I'm really just so grateful that we did that kasi yeah, it was so nice. But for the viewers who don't have context about what Disabled Heart was, maybe you can share a little bit of what we did.
Alright. Okay. Galing sumegway ah. Joke. Okay. So, Disabled Heart, it started as a fundraising org. Where it's not really an organization, just a fundraising like event by a group of friends. The first season, wow, so may dalawang season siya in my head eh. The
Mm-hmm.
first season is, so we partnered with Bigay Buhay Multipurpose Cooperative. This one naman, it's a PWD cooperative. This is for adults naman who are physically disabled. So it's not my usual clientele as a speech therapist na pediatric. Yun, so parang may context. So they have so their business was really affected because of the pandemic. So from selling furniture, they had to shift to selling hygiene kits. But then they don't really have the means to promote, to like have partners to buy from them and everything. So that's where we came in, man. So they were our beneficiary, but more than just being a fundraising event, we were also pushing for inclusivity naman, inclusive
Mm-mm.
arts. So we had a bunch of workshops that are um, that were open to both um, people with disabilities and the typically developing people naman also. So basically, we just created a platform that can welcome everyone and anyone. And it's just,
Yeah.
I think it's just so beautiful also kasi makikita mo celebrating just everybody's skills, di ba? So I
Mm.
think since we call them disabled, it focused kasi on what they can't do. So I think
Right,
with what we
right.
tried to do with Disabled Heart is to show what they are able to do.
Mm-mm.
Parang ganun. And just celebrate what everyone can do.
Yeah.
Ayun. So other than the classes, the workshops, we ended with a concert. So that was really good. That was wow, buhat sariling bangko. That was really
I
good.
like it. You know, we gotta pat ourselves on the back because
Tayo lang naman eh.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Great experience. Like like bukod sa planning it and organizing it,
Mm-hmm.
I think just seeing it, watching it, and seeing people's reactions also ay na ganito pala like kaya rin pala nila to ganyan. So
Mm-mm.
it's nice because nasa spotlight naman sila with what they can do.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
parang I think we're very saturated na ngayon with um, um, the very famous dancers, singers, ganyan. So it's just nice to put them um, in the spotlight also.
Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah, I
there's
think
that.
I feel like just one thing that was very different. I hope that we like what you wanted it to be talaga was that you really em- empower, enable, engage. Wow,
Wow!
tagline. Yeah. But yeah, that was the
Tagline natin
tagline of
yan.
ano of Disabled Heart. And I think
Yeah.
kasi for a lot of fundraisers, 'di ba? And prior to the pandemic, I mean, it's usually just okay, we come up with something and then we earn enough resources and then we give it to them. So parang they're just on usually PWDs are
Receiving
just
it.
on the receiving end. Yeah, exactly. But with Disabled Heart, what we really wanted to do was to help them be part of the solution. Parang, because
Right.
yun,
Exactly.
they're not, it doesn't mean that they're disabled, that they can't contribute to
True.
yun, being able to be the solution for COVID. Like, okay, I mean,
Right.
yun, at least the hygiene kits can help also.
To add
Tapos,
to add that lang
yeah,
din,
go.
I think um, other than the BBMC, we were able
Mm-hmm.
to do. We were trying at least to do that also with the workshops, diba? So
Right, right.
other than being or having inclusive classes, we tried also to get PWT teachers,
Mm-mm.
diba?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what we tried also. We had some do baking classes, makeup, dance also even, just to really show people that they can do it, they can facilitate a class, they can teach you, di ba? So,
Mm-mm.
hindi sila yung laging receiving end lang or parang kawawa. Kasi parang,
Yeah.
oh, let's just give everything to them, we're going to help them, di ba? They can actually be they can do so many things eh. So, I think that's one thing I really loved with what we did also.
Yeah, yeah. What was your favorite, um, siguro if you had a favorite or most impactful na event or part of the whole thing that we did for Disabled Heart? What was, ano yung pinaka-tumatak sa'yo, kumbaga?
Hmm. Sa akin, siguro talaga yung concert. The concert. Because it was really just celebrate. Yun yung feeling sa akin. It's a celebration of skills of everyone and
Mm.
anyone. Parang it's very rare that you can see kasi na a show where PWDs can perform alongside non-PWDs. Diba usually kasi, let's say pag may variety show or something, okay, performance by everyone.
Mm.
Beneficiary, a PWD.
Mm.
But like that's usually the setup.
Yeah.
So, um, ang sarap lang sa heart nun sa akin seeing na um, they're performing as equals.
Right,
Diba?
right.
and I saw from people's reactions then that they were really loving the diversity also of it. And I think that's that's what makes it art as a whole also, diba, the diversity. Because if it's all the same, if it's all uniformed, then is it still art?
Right,
If it's
right,
all just the same thing, yeah, yeah. That's my favorite, the concert. Ikaw ba? What is your favorite?
nice. I think, well, yung pinaka tumatak sa akin was, I think, one of the workshops, the expressive arts workshops, um, with
Mm.
Teacher Carol, actually. Shout out to Teacher Carol if ever she drops by for some
Shout out, Miss
shout.
Carol. Hello.
Yeah, kasi
Thank you po.
parang yun, like at the time I was really like all about being able to create, and like parang yung perspective ko pa towards art was just like yun nga, like very output based in a way na parang okay, if I don't have output, like hindi ako true na art. But yeah, parang with the
Wow.
workshop, sobrang, no? Diba? Sobrang, parang I realized na, oh, it can be a process that I'll just go through. That parang I can experience for me to reflect on what I'm going through. Because very interesting for me, like when we did our art activities. Oh, I realized I should have shown pala my art. But anyway, maybe I'll just share it in another post. Um, yun. Parang I realized dun sa work that I made, I was like, oh shucks, I'm going through something. Parang may pinagdadaanan pala ako na, yun, it really helped me reflect talaga on just the current state of life, the world, parang what direction I want to take moving
Yeah.
forward. Yun. So, I think, yeah, that's something really important that we want to like push forward na art isn't just like it's not just reserved for the elite. It's not just reserved for people who can like create the amazing, very grand stuff like art that makes you feel like it's, I think, one way that we can help in a way siguro parang is seeing art as yun, something to be experienced that we can all go through for us to develop and become better like human beings, just reflect about life, like because for me personally parang yun, like just making art, the process of making art has always helped me like move forward kahit na hindi siya like launch to outer space ganong level. It's been able to help me like just move forward when I feel stuck or anything. And I think that's something also that can be very like, if for me palang, for us na abled, like if that's something that's very empowering, how much more for those who are like differently abled na they're able to see that, oh, I made this, and then they just yun, again, the process of experiencing it like can help them just yeah.
Yeah, just to add to that,
Yeah,
like
go.
I relate this well, but yeah, I think there's just this pressure now nga to produce, especially this lockdown nga, di ba? Parang
Mm-mm.
I felt that also eh. Parang, ay, shucks, hindi na ako dancer, wala akong pinupost. Ay, hindi,
Same.
wala akong keme, ganyan. But then, um, by doing that, parang you're discounting the gifts that God gave you.
Mm-mm,
So
mm-mm.
parang nakakahiya naman sa kanya, di ba? Parang andun na nga eh. Tapos hindi mo pa siya, I mean, itatago mo pa siya, hindi mo
Mm-mm.
i-experience fully. So, and just to share, I read it in, it's from Daring Greatly by, what's her name? Si Ate Vulnerable. What's her name?
At the vulnerable.
Browne, Brene Brown.
Brene
There we
Brown.
go.
Right,
I
right, right.
remember. Si Ate Vulnerable. Si Brene Brown. There we go. I remembered her name. So yeah, Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. So she mentioned something about art doon na um, art is what makes us human. It is what makes us feel more alive. It
Mm-hmm.
gives us a pass from perfection. Diba? Parang nakaka-toxic naman kasi if you
Right,
strive to
right.
be perfect all the time. Because wala namang perfect eh. I mean, diba? Come on. Show me
Right.
someone who's perfect.
Right, true, true, true.
Wala lang, show me lang. Wala akong gagawin.
Show me.
But,
Poof.
yeah, so
None.
yun,
Not available.
okay. Wala lang, survey lang. Pero yun, di ba, parang ang ganda lang yung sinabi niya na um, art is what makes us feel alive. Like, it doesn't, like, you don't have to produce, or like, you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You can just experience it for yourself and to just fully experience life. Parang ganun. Yun.
Gosh.
Thank you, Brittany Brown.
Oo nga. That's so nice. Anong book ulit
Shout out to
yun?
Danine. Danine is watching.
Hi!
Hi,
Hi, Danini!
Mom! I love
Hello.
you.
Oh, Elle's also watching. Hi, Elle. Elle and Gia are my sister's friends. And my friends now, too. Yay. Oh my gosh. We've got friends and family watching us talk about how we're trying to make the world come alive with art. Because, like, oh my gosh. Yeah. It's
Sana
nice.
may maambag ako. Sana may sense yung mga pinagsasabi ko.
Okay lang yan, okay lang yan. You know, I think
Sige lang,
I
sige
think
lang.
that's the value of being able to share conversations like this. Kaya rin I started like this podcast actually. Parang, because I feel like, you know, there are so many stories to be told. Like, for example, yun nga, arts and PWDs. And then, like, well, but teaser na pala for the next episodes. Pero yun, like, wow. Yun, parang, kasi there are so many stories about how the arts can be used in these ways na parang it can be helpful for different communities. Like, arts can be helpful also for maybe yun, mga other vulnerable communities, like arts helping those who are struggling in mental health, arts struggling. Yung parang ganun, ang daming pwede pang stories na ma-explore. So I feel like, you know, this is just, we're just sharing our thoughts and musings and, you know,
Yeah.
like just putting it out there in the world. And then, yeah.
So I just want to share, like, more,
Yeah, go.
like, other than, like, mental health wise, I think that's, like, art. I think that's very accepted by everyone naman. Like, art helps almost everyone with mental health. Um, Art paired with science also. Parang it goes hand in hand with science also in helping the PWDs. So that's one way. So other than um, providing a platform and an experience for the PWDs through Disabled Heart, I was able to experience together with science work to improve the lives of PWDs through autism movement therapy naman. O, di ba? Segue
Exactly.
na tayo.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually,
Yeah.
yeah, like very like thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, it's so important no na you understand the art and the science also. So yeah, can you like share a little bit more about yon autism movement therapy, ganun?
Right. Okay. So autism movement therapy, quick background lang.
Yeah.
It's a program, it's evidence-based, so it's scientific po. Pinag-aralan po ito. It's by Carol, si Ma'am si Carol. Well, first name basis kami. So it's in the States. It's done mostly in the States. That's why I went there to be certified and I brought it here. So the idea of autism movement therapy naman, it's basically trying to get the whole brain to work. So, di ba, we have our, whoa, I'm gonna be a little scientific for a while
Go.
now. So there's di ba, left brain and right brain, and then we have the corpus callosum in the middle that bridges the two. So um, with the children with autism, kasi um, studies show that um, medyo may challenge sila with the bridging the both sides of the brain. So with autism movement therapy, it uses movements and patterns, music. So it uses different parts of the brain, and this is where neuroplasticity comes in. So neuroplasticity is the idea that your brain can be remodeled. It can make new connections. So yung mga medyo parang dormant parts ng brain with the children with disability, with autism, na-exercise siya to build stronger connections so they can use their full brain so they can function better. So yun, having that whole brain concept helps them with their cognition, communication, social skills, behavior. So, di ba, amazing. Like
Yeah, yeah.
you would see that like in a session, it just looks like we're playing. You were there, diba? You help
Yeah,
out
yeah.
with it also sometimes, and you would see like we're just playing, we're just moving, jumping, or like making animal sounds or whatever. But so that's art, diba? Music and movement.
Mm-mm-mm.
But there's a science involved. Like there's science involved din dun. So I think ang ganda lang dun eh na um so arts can be scientific also and really help improve the lives of children with
Yeah.
children with special needs.
Yeah. Actually, like thinking about it now, yeah, I realized na because parang 'di ba as kids and yun, parang actually autism movement therapy is really geared toward children with autism. But parang now that you mentioned that it focuses actually on being able to develop the whole brain, parang part of me wonders why is it that when we're like kids, when we're younger, art is seen as like okay, like an okay activity for children to be involved in or something. But eventually when we become adults, it's like, oh, why are you still like dancing? Why are you still singing? Parang, why are you still
Right.
involved in art?
Oo.
But then parang I think knowing this now that art, music and movement in particular can actually help develop the whole brain and keep neuro and maintain neuroplasticity. Parang why can't it be something also that can help adults as well? Na parang kasi 'di ba eventually old age parang what do you call that? Yung parang nawawala yung neuroplasticity or meron bang parang term or something for that?
Well, like dementia,
Well,
ganyan.
siguro
Are you looking for
something
the?
like that. I don't
Okay.
know if I'm looking for another term. But yeah, like parang 'di ba parang pag mawawalan pag
Kaya mo yan.
mawawalan kang neuroplasticity, 'di ba? Yun, it could lead to dementia. But what if parang art can be seen as something that we can experience, something that differently able people can experience, and we as adults can experience for us to like just generally maintain that neuroplasticity for us to keep our brains in check. It doesn't like we don't develop cobwebs in our brains, ganun.
uh, I just wanted to add to that
Mm-hmm.
na or like yeah. Anyway, so neuroplasticity isn't really something that goes away. So like it's a
Okay.
concept, it's an idea. So
Okay.
that you have para siyang muscle memory sa brain,
Ooh.
gets ba? So like so for example, if you're learning a new dance, so at first it's so awkward, you can't get the choreography, ganyan. But then as you keep doing it, your body gets used to the pattern of movements, the
Okay.
rhythm and everything until you can do it na without really thinking. Diba? You get to that
Mm.
point. So the same goes with our brain in learning new skills. Parang ganon. So like how it works is, for example, with music then siguro, diba?
Mm-hmm.
Like so we're playing the piano. The more that you do it, the more it is ingrained in you na you can do it by not really thinking so much about it na.
Right, right.
Yeah, so that's how neuroplasticity works.
Okay.
And yeah. Tapos picking up lang din from what you mentioned with adults, ang galing lang eh kasi nga with speech therapy din.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really do it now because I don't have adult practice, but when no internship ko, so in PGH also, I had stroke patients,
Mm.
um, mga may aphasia, ganyan. So, like, we use a technique called the melodic intonation technique. I hope I said that correctly because I don't really
Ooh.
do it anymore. But basically, it's just using music or rhythm to teach the patient to um, to recall and say what he needs to say.
Right.
Diba?
To,
So
to
amazing, amazing
to recall for speaking.
to
Ganon.
communicate properly.
Right. Okay. Oh my gosh. So that's so interesting na kasi it's parang from the term pa lang na melodic intonation technique. Yun, like it's very clear na it actually utilizes music to help the PWDs recover those key skills. And I think parang tama aphasia yung nawawala ng speech.
Yeah, so there are different kinds of aphasia, but yeah,
Okay.
it could be difficulty with comprehension or difficulty with expression also.
Ah, right,
Mm.
right. I'm learning. Yeah, I think parang kasi
Congrats, girl.
it's so helpful na music can help them recover yon being able to speak and also comprehend, um, and for them to really develop communication skills kasi for example particularly with autism movement therapy, diba? One of the parang what do you call that parang f- uh, not
Which one?
symptoms na parang or parang yung very oh my goodness word retrieval.
Kaya mo yan. I will help you. Just keep going.
Parang parang one of the
Continue.
yung magiging for you to see that it's really okay, this person has autism, yun parang it's really difficulty in communicating, right? Diba, that's one of the major or not
It's
really
one of the hallmarks of it, yeah. But it's a
yeah,
spectrum kasi,
right,
so diba,
right.
it's autism spectrum disorder.
Mm.
So, in one end of the spectrum, like the really low functioning ones, yun yung
Mm-mm.
mostly cannot really verbalize, cannot speak. The other end of the spectrum, the highly functioning ones naman, they are very verbal actually. Like they can speak as in may mga specialized ano pa and stuff like that. I think the more common hallmark, like you can say, across the spectrum is the social skills.
Right,
And
right.
well, papasok din naman dun yung communication because
Mm-mm.
communication is social, di ba? Like, you use it to speak to people, to
Mm-mm.
understand. So that's why I guess with I see it in the highly functioning kids with autism na parang they can speak, you can converse with them, but they have difficulty understanding humor, figures of
Right, right,
speech,
right.
and like sarcasm, ganyan. Because that's a more social kind of thing.
Yeah.
Di ba? It's based in context. Parang
Mm-mm.
ganun.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I feel like it's so relevant and it's so helpful kasi nga yan these people who are on the spectrum, they're for starters they're also first and foremost human who need to survive, who need to eat, who need to like be able to just live as a human being, and part of that also is being able to express themselves, parang being able to um yeah, but then because of some of the limitations like lack being lacking in social skills, but it really limits the world that they're able to move around in, na parang because they're lacking these social skills, parang how do you kasi diba man's not an island, so it's like super important for us as humans to be able to know how to connect with each other, how to communicate, how to just relate with each other para we can like survive in this world.
Yeah.
Diba? But like yeah, I think I'm seeing it a bit clearer now na because of that um kumbaga limitation of their social skills, or if talagang if they didn't have the chance to develop their social skills, it really limits like where how they're able to contribute to society, and I
Yeah.
think that's really what leads to the kumbaga the parang discrimination na parang na hindi because it's so different from the experiences that we've been having as abled people, parang it's these are things that unless you're like fully aware of, like you in your work you're fully aware of the experience of PWDs, parang yan that's something that people won't think of and people won't realize na oh these things are ableist pala. Like actually nowadays, although it's um, not specifically for autism, um, yeah, but nowadays whenever I walk on sidewalks, like especially in Metro Manila, sometimes parang pumapasok na sa isip ko na, oh my gosh, this is such an ableist sidewalk. Na parang kapag it's not walang ramps, kapag yung walang protection from the cars or things like that. Na parang kaya which is something na prior to if I didn't get involved with people like you who work with PWDs, or if I didn't go for internship in rehab men, parang I wouldn't have thought of that. I would have just said na, oh, it's just a street, like there's just a tree, we can go around it. But then without realizing na, oh my gosh, like for me it's just a minor thing to have to go, or even overpass kunwari. Like for me it's just okay, sige, leg day. But for somebody else it could mean literally not getting to their destination, not being able to
Right.
meet people they were scheduled to meet and things like that.
Right.
Kaya grabe, ang dami talagang like inner
Yeah,
stuff
ang daming
na.
barriers talaga.
Yeah, yeah.
Other than, I think that's ano pa nga eh, like the more common things that people notice, like the ramp or the
Mm-hmm.
reading, ganyan. But imagine also, kasi with kids with autism, it's more invisible, or it's
Right,
not
right.
as visible as those who are physically disabled. So
Mm-hmm.
parang dun mas mahirap um, intindihin. So for
Mm-hmm.
example, like let's say in malls, so they get easily overwhelmed with with yung sa senses kasi nila, like if it's too
Mm-hmm.
loud or if it's too bright. So this is a common story I hear even from the parents of my kids also. Na parang when a kid is overwhelmed in the mall and then so they start acting up because they can't express themselves, they can't um, manage their their emotions and
Mm-hmm.
the sensory input that they're getting. It's just too much for them. So they act up, quote unquote act up. And then just some people when they see it, ang sasabihin pa nila parang ano ba naman 'to, yung nanay hindi kayang kontrolin yung anak.
Right,
Parang,
right.
ang sama naman ng bata nagwawala sa mall. Parang yun pa yung nakikita nila.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? So it's difficult, but um, we will make the world come alive through that. Sabi mo, diba?
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's like what
Yeah.
like in some countries, like just additional sharing,
Yeah,
they
go.
have sensory rooms. So like, oh my
Oh.
gosh, I just dream of the day that we have that in the
Oh
Philippines.
my. Is
Na
that what is it? Can you like share what that's like?
yeah, so parang I think it was in Legoland ba or saan ba yun? So there's this one theme park na they have a special room
Mm-hmm.
na kids can go to when they're feeling overwhelmed na. So may mga materials doon that can help them calm down. Ganyan.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's really cool. And then there are some, I think, this is in Australia naman. They have
Mm-hmm.
a playground that is very, that makes communication accessible to those who can't communicate. Kasi parang may mga, um, it's called AAC, the technical term.
Okay.
It's alternative augmentative communication. But basically,
Oh.
they're pictures,
Okay.
so that art, a so there are
Yeah,
pictures
visuals.
that that kids can point to if they need to say something in the playground. 'Di ba? Parang
Oh,
kasi
okay.
yung ibang kids parang they can't like hindi na lang sila maglalaro diyan or
Yeah.
they're nahihinder yung experiences na, or
Mm.
nare-limit rather yung
Mm.
experiences nila because they can't participate in that situation. But in
Mm-hmm.
Australia, in that playground, they made it accessible to them. So para kahit magsa-slide siya, you can like point to like hi or like point na like help, like there are pictures
Ah.
available. Yeah. So para you can fully
Okay.
function and be part of the
Yeah,
community.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh,
So
that's so
kahit anong
cool.
bagay. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Grabe no, like
Walang
eh,
araw.
yes, hopefully. Actually, like that's another thing pa na, parks for example aren't exactly the most accessible here in the Philippines.
What
So
part? We have
parks.
parks?
Dang, the truth hurts. But yeah, that's so nice and parang yeah, thinking about it now, parang diba for children with autism for example, it's so hard to say hi because like but with things like that na yan, they're able to like press and say hi. And sometimes like when in with making a friend, all it takes is just being able to say hi. So I feel like that the fact that there are things like that na yun, they can just press it to say hi can help them really um build their social skills, make friends, and parang just help them grow and in yeah, in their life as kids, and then as eventually as we go on to grow up and be adults in this world.
Mm, mm.
Yeah. That's so nice. Yeah. Um, siguro like just to sort of close off our chica.
More
For
chika,
someone
no
who is
pressure, chika lang.
no pressure, chica lang. So for those watching, we are
Meron
allowing
pa
you
ba?
to like, pero
Hello.
let's
Hello
not
po.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, siguro like just to close off the episode. I guess for somebody who's like into the arts but wants to start helping PWDs, particularly like you can go specific for like autism or just generally PWDs. How can they like start, or like where can they contribute? What can they do?
Okay. So there are actually a lot of groups now na in the Philippines who or that cater to arts for PWDs. Well, I guess I know more for children since that is like my specific age group.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say there's Best Buddies Philippines. So they have a bunch of activities going on every Saturday, and then uh, they just really provide events for children with special needs, like dancing or art classes. They have a lot of those going every Saturday, I think. So they can check that out. Best Buddy Philippines.
Best
Shout out
buddies.
to Beryl with Paper Kids. So she works in Best Buddy Philippines. And then we also have Special Olympics Philippines. So yun naman na sports. So it started as sports. And then they have they're
Okay.
actually looking for volunteers to help coach the kids. It's not just
Ooh.
kids, also even teens, adults, ganyan. So they're looking for volunteers for sports, and they just recently started Special Olympics cheer naman. So that's more dance. So they have dance
Okay.
also cheer and hip hop naman. I think
Right.
they're looking for volunteers also. And ano pa ba? Oh, there's also the Heart of Play. I think that I
Right, right.
forgot to mention things that
Wait, you like
inspired
the
me. They're like,
play.
hey, I wanted something like that. I'm sorry.
So you mentioned, sige, yeah. You're back, you're back. The heart at play.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so I forgot to
Mm.
mention a while ago, but um, the Heart of Play is one of the things that really inspired me before. Hey, I want to do this. Parang, they
Nice.
have weekly dance classes kasi. So parang, shucks, I want to do this. Parang, but it just never fit my schedule before. So parang sabi ko, shucks, hindi kaya ang schedule ko, gagawa na lang ako ng sarili ko. Yes, I remember
Nice.
that was my thought process. Like, hey, I want to do this,
Okay.
but it doesn't fit my schedule, so I'll just make my own.
Right,
Kaya ako
right.
pinush yung autism movement
Autism.
therapy naman. But yeah,
Ah, that's nice.
disabled heart, it's also evidence based. So like super good mom she's done if you want to have your kids involved there. They also do dances. They have they also um, they also have we call for volunteers also. I'm just not sure kasi now
Okay.
during the pandemic, but really there are a lot of groups. So yun yung mga naisip ko, Best Body Philippines, Special
Mm-mm.
Olympics, and Disabled Heart Talay, the Heart at Play.
Right,
So yeah,
right.
but I think other than those groups, it would be nice also to educate yourself. Like if you want to
Right,
really
right.
get into it, kasi um like you need to know who you'll be working with, just so you
Mm-mm.
understand how you can like interact with them, and so you know what their needs are. Parang ganun.
Mm,
So,
yeah.
kasi hindi rin naman siya basta-basta, okay, let's do art with them. Like,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
they have a special set of needs also, and strengths also. Diba?
Mm.
So it would be nice to just really read up on those. There are a lot of movies, documentaries, so like, you can check
Right,
some of
right.
those out also.
Amazing. Hey. Well, yeah, I guess that's it for
Yeah.
now. Thank you so much. Oh my god, for
Thank
this
you.
Chika R.
May mga naiwan pang nanonood. Thank you
Meron
po
pa.
mga moms.
Oh my gosh,
O, di
thank
ba?
you so much for like sticking with us until the
Sana
end of
naman
this Chika.
naambag kami.
Yes, oh
Wow.
my gosh. Like please comment if you like enjoyed this
What is your
Chika like
takeaway? Wow.
yeah, oh my gosh, yeah,
What
maybe
is
we can
your
like leave
takeaway?
that what is your key
Oh,
takeaway from this?
facilitator.
Takeaway
Oh,
from
what's your
this?
takeaway?
Yeah, diba? Because like, para we're not just listening in to the content stuff that we consume on the internet. We're also learning. So,
Mm, sana
or
naman.
yeah, we really hope.
Sana po may na ambag kami.
Okay, yeah, we hope that you learned something from this episode. Before we go pala, um, where can people follow you on social media to stay updated with Disabled Heart, tsaka AMT Philippines?
Wow. Okay. So for those two, well, personally, you can follow me at the bag. So that's three A's in the second bag on Instagram. And then that's AMT at AMT Philippines for Autism Movement Therapy, and at Disabled Heart for Disabled Heart. So yeah, those are
Okay,
just the things that we manage.
nice,
And also,
nice.
like, if anyone wants to collab, I'm super, super G. As in, like, if you want to do something, like, message me, super G to collab.
Okay. I'm just typing it for people. I'm just typing
Hmm.
it in the comments for people who are watching and people who might come across this video in like the future, you know.
Shout
So,
out kay Leia. Hello. Thank you so
hi.
much for the
This is just
support.
like, oh my
Hello.
gosh. That's all my notives are just my sister. Shout out to my sister who's like just
Asan
upstairs.
si Matt? Joke. Hoy, Matt, nasan ka? Nandun ba
It's
siya?
okay. I don't know because I I claim the space, but
Ah, okay.
yeah.
Hey, Leia.
Thank you
If
so
you can
much.
hear
Yeah.
me from
We
beside
are.
Asha.
She's actually upstairs now.
Ay,
But
joke.
yeah, they're still around.
Hmm.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time and your like knowledge and your efforts for sharing. OMG, my idol. Yung mga idol daw sabi ni Are.
Wow!
Are. Ah, oh my gosh. See, this is just Chica. You
Oo
know?
nga, cheap na talaga
The
talaga.
Kasabawan is
Very
coming
good.
out. Oh my
Oo.
god. Before more
Disclaimer
of
po
it.
kung may nasabi kaming mga baka mali. Educate, not hate po.
Yes, please.
We are
Okay.
open to ano.
Ah, yeah.
Yun
So
lang
before
po.
more of the Kasabawan jumps out, I think, yeah, thank you so much to those who watched this entire episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope that you got something from this little exchange that we had as, people who are passionate about the arts and also people who have worked together with PWDs. Yeah. So I guess that's it for now. Just watch out. Please this like this page. This will also be posted on my channel too. Hey,
Hey! Oh
and
no!
also this will be this will
Oh
also
no!
be on Spotify soon.
Oh my gosh!
But no, that's fine. We
Yung
share
chikahan
more. We
namin.
share more about what the work we do because it is for the PWDs to make their world come alive with art. Yeah. So
Yes!
that's thank you so much once again, and we will see you in future episodes. I'll see you in future episodes. I don't know yet. I don't know when yet, but we'll see you then. Thank you so much and have
Thank
a great
you! Thank you so much,
evening
Asha.
to everybody. Bye, Ate Bagi. Thank you.
Bye!
Bye
See
bye.
you!
See ya. See ya.
Bye-bye!